Today I'm all over the place. As the title suggested, there's a lot of stuff I'm going to be covering today. So if that sounds like something you might be interested in, there's some sewing, there's some updates in my life, there's all kind of stuff. But I will admit there is a little bit of crochet. Pardon me. Not a lot of knitting. So if that sounds like something you'd like to hang out for, spend some time with me. Good morning. Welcome to my channel. My name is Lynn and I'm glad you're here. I'm going to warn you, whether you're new or you're returning viewers, I appreciate the time you're spending with me today. But I'm going to warn you, I'm a little bit off. When haven't I been lately? But, no, I had to take some Dramamine earlier because I was feeling really, really nauseous. And if it wasn't for the Dramamine, I haven't taken Dramamine since probably, I haven't taken it, I want to say probably November or December. But today was the day. Today I had to take it. If I even wanted to get this video done, I had to take something. So if I have to pause and restart the video, which I have done my intro 5 times. 5 times. But anyway, if that did not scare you off, if you're still here, bless you. Alright, so I got an order in for my totes, and I did get it finished, and I do love, this is one of my favorite patterns. I love the owls, don't get me wrong, I love horses, owls, and, oh, I have not done a horse tote. That might be my next one. Because, as the title suggests, I am in a tote making mood. Now, that's not to say that I won't be doing any of my project bags, because I will. But Meredith ordered that tote, and I thought, you know what? Y'all know that my time is it's a little bit squanched. So, the backhoe is due back. It's the rental ends on Thursday. Well, there's been some trouble with it again, and we are down until Tuesday. Today is Sunday. It went down last night, so that's Sunday, Monday, and Tuesday. It's going to be down again. So my sons, and I say sons because the one that rented it was going to half the cost with my other son. And for those of y'all who don't know, I have twin sons who are 28 years old. But they were going to split the cost. And the one son that originally rented it said, we're not going to have time to do everything. Because y'all, it's not going to happen before Thursday. We're not even halfway through. And I feel a lot of responsibility for that. But I will get into that later. Now, as far as the totes, it's kind of ironic because I was picking out all of these materials to do totes with. And I'm going to show y'all. I've already got the material cut for this one. Okay, it's kind of like a quilt pattern, which, you know, y'all know me, and I love all things sewing. So, instead of a quilted tote, I can actually have this. Now, the quilt, the tote that I'm going to make with this is not going to be quilted like a fluffy quilt, you know, but it will have the quilt design. And what I meant about irony is because I showed this back in the day when I did work for Joanne before we closed. And Meredith, I just saw a comment probably about 5-10 minutes ago, because this is the next one I'm going to be cutting. This is the first one I've cut, and this will be the second one. And I do apologize for the lighting. It is after 7 o'clock at night. I intended for this video to get recorded earlier today, but I got kind of sick and it didn't happen. So, but I want to show y'all. Okay, not only is the quilting. Oh, well, I didn't get to show you this. I didn't show you this. Let me hang tight. This is what Allison, not Meredith. If I said Meredith, I'm sorry. Meredith got the other tote. But Allison had made a comment about this fabric. And this is another tote that I'm going to be doing, because I love these tropical birds. And if y'all don't want this, that's fine. I will keep it because I am in love with these birds. And it was so funny because I had all these out on my work table earlier. And I was cutting this fabric. And I was like, you know what? Why don't I get all of those materials out so that I can make multiple totes? So here we are. Totes, taxes, and I am exhausted and tired. Hence the name of the video. Now this one right here, I have a bigger piece of this. But I thought it was really, really pretty. It's simple, but it's elegant, you know? I think that is gorgeous, and I think that will make a beautiful tote. And I actually think I have some brown, sorry, I'm trying, y'all. I think I have some brown webbing, some nylon webbing to make for the handles. I think that would be gorgeous. I think if I did like the natural, I think that would be too much. So I think the brown would actually make that pop. Am I wrong? Please don't hesitate to tell me if you think that the brown would be a bad idea for that. And here's another one that I fell in love with, and I could not resist it back in the day. And it's only because have you ever looked at the inside of a geode? That's what this reminds me of. It's gorgeous. The striations and everything. It's just so beautiful to me. And these totes that I am going to be making out of these, they will be the same size as my regular totes. But, I mean, they would be perfect for like the beach or anything. Alright, I'm struggling with that, so I'm going to leave that alone. And then, I'm gonna save my absolute favorite for last. Now, we ran out of this when we ran out of business. So I went hunting for this, and I actually found it. I found a little piece of it, not big enough to actually buy one, and then I don't know where it was hiding, but it showed up at our store, and I bought it. So I'm going to save that one for last. Now, these two last ones, I'm not even going to unfurl, but I will kind of give you a glimpse of them. Aren't those pretty? I love the blue. It's not quite the, there's a word that starts with a T. I can't remember the word. It's like blue and white drawings. But this reminds me of that. Even though it's got other colors in it, it definitely reminds me of that. And this just looks like a nice little garden-y type fabric. And then the very last one. Now, y'all know I have talked many, many times about my daughter-in-law loving sunflowers. Well, when I saw this fabric, I had cut the last little bit for a customer at Joann when I was, at the cutting counter. And I fell in love with it. But she literally got the very last inch. So I did see it at another store. I actually saw it at the North Columbia store. West Columbia didn't have it for some reason, but the North Columbia did. And I saw it, I grabbed the bolt, got so excited. I got up there and it was not even 1/4 of a yard on the bolt. But the way it was wrapped on the bolt, I couldn't tell. But look at this. This might have been a half a bolt. I mean, a half a yard. It wasn't quite, I don't think it was quite a half a yard. It was somewhere between 1/4 and a half. I do remember that. But I thought it leaned more toward the 1/4. But as I'm looking at this is almost a half yard. Yeah. So, it was a little bit less than this, but not, it wasn't enough to make a tote with. So, I loved the variations of the background. So, this will be a tote. So keep your eyes open for those, because those will be coming. Now, I am going to... Husband wants to open the door in the bathroom. I'm going to be making... I'm thinking 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, maybe 7 totes. I don't know how fast I'll be making them. Because, like I said, I don't want to touch that right now. I really don't. I do, because I feel like I need to have something to drink to talk. But I'm also scared to add anything. If y'all have dealt with the nausea, you know what I mean. And I thought I had my crochet in here. But I don't. I only have the one that I read. I must have left it in there on my recliner earlier. I don't know, y'all. I told y'all I'm tired. I'm honestly very nauseous, but I'm very tired too. I did, and it might be the taxes, because, y'all, I'm not kidding. It is March. It's March 29th. We have not filed our taxes yet. So I had to go through all my expenses and all my income and get all that lined up. I've been putting it off. Usually I have all of my stuff handled before the end of the year. But the knock on the head, the loss of the use of the left side, and some brain capacity kind of stopped that from happening, right? So I've just been putting it off because, you know, I get such a stupid bad headache when I try to focus on stuff like that right now. And it just wasn't happening. So I decided, okay, today's the day. You know, I need to get this done before the 1st of April, because when we get a chance, we're going to have to go get our taxes filed. Let me tell you, I'm not looking forward to that. The past 2 years we've had to pay. And I think that's ridiculous. I don't make much money, and my husband's on disability. So tell me why we have to pay anything. I mean, what little bit of income I do have is offset by the expenses that I have. So I don't know how we ended up paying. But, you know what? Taxes, you know. What do they say? There's only 2 things guaranteed in life, and that's death and taxes. Yeah, that. But anyway. So I was going through all that. I got my taxes, I hope, situated. Well, I got my expenses and my income. I got all that documented, so I'm good to go on that. But while I was looking at my screen, I think that's kind of what made me so nauseated. Because I was going back and forth between my laptop and my phone, you know, with my calculator and everything. And it was like, ooh, honey, I don't know if I can deal with that. Plus, yeah, I did have some crochet to show y'all. Actually, hold that thought 1 second. I'll be right back. Okay, I'm back. Sorry, y'all. I am so discombobulated today. And part of that is because I did take the Dramamine. But look, you know how I told you that my grandson wanted the blanket, so I had to get cracking? Well, let me tell you. Later that day, after, you know, I took this with us on our Friday fun day on Thursday. So, I took it with me, and I had started it probably, I had only gotten maybe about that much. I think I had gotten to the sunflower color, which ironically is what I ended on. And we went to town, and I was working on it as we were in town and doing all of our different little Friday fun things on Thursday. Because we were waiting on a part for the backhoe to come in. Well, I got all that done, and Friday rolled around. And I was supposed to be... I don't know that we did anything Friday. No, I don't think we did. No, actually, my son was fixing the backhoe. And then by the time he was done, he was so exhausted, he said, you know what, I'm going to finish today out. I'm not going to get on the backhoe. So yesterday was a full day. He was on the backhoe and I was on the tractor. And I want to say it was 6:30 before I got off the tractor. And that's with starting at 8 a.m. I mean, I did come home. I made me lunch. I ate some lunch. I went back out. My son, he didn't want to eat lunch, but he did He did come in. I can't remember what he came in for. He might have had to use the bathroom. I can't tell. I can't remember. But anyway, he came in for something, and I was like, you know what? I need to eat my lunch. So I grabbed lunch. Decided that I was going to eat that really quick and then get back out there. So we did. And as soon as we got back out there, I mean, now I'm going to tell y'all, I had 2 layers on yesterday morning. It wasn't that it was so cold, it was the wind was blowing so bad. And we are under a burn ban because we haven't had enough rain lately. And I'm going to tell y'all, I was cold. Ooh, I almost messed up. I almost went from sunflower to red to cherry. I almost forgot about pumpkin. But anyway. I'm sitting there, and I had my cami top and my shorts on originally. And then I thought, you know, I'm going to do my walk and my exercise before my son got up here. And I got everything done. I got my walking in and my exercise in. But on my walk, I was like, I'm not going to be able to wear this. It's too cold. So I put on a long sleeve shirt and thought that the shorts would work. Y'all, I'm not going to lie, those shorts did not work. Because I was thinking, you know, the sun's coming up. It's going to peep above the trees, and I will have plenty of sun to keep me nice and toasty. Yeah, I ended up telling my son, I texted my son because he was on the backhoe. I texted him, I said, look, I'll be right back. I got to run to the house. So I ran back down here, threw on some sweatpants. So now I have shorts and a cami underneath a long sleeve shirt and sweatpants. I still wasn't warm enough. I worked for about 2 hours like that. The sun was up. And I still was really, really cold. And I'm thinking, how cold is it out here? And it was like 60 degrees, 65 degrees. So it should not have been freezing me like it was. But that wind, I kid y'all not, that wind was so stupid crazy. When I got off of the tractor yesterday, I had so much debris in my eyes. I was using Visine trying to get them out. And that wind was blowing so hard, it was going straight through my clothes. So I said, okay, you know what? I'll get it. I'll get it done. Sorry, y'all. I'm probably going to have my son edit all these out. If you end up seeing them, sorry. It's getting kind of late. I'm going to have to still upload this to Google Drive and send it to him for him to edit. And it's 7:30. But anyway, I just kind of wanted to make sure that I had something out here and showed y'all that I am still here. I am still working. Right now, I'm just kind of working at different stuff. Like tomorrow, since the part's not going to be here till Tuesday, I'm thinking, okay, so I haven't even told y'all. I did start something. Friday morning, while we were waiting on the other part to come in, I put up my flannel piece of fabric so that I could do my great nephew's quilt, so that I could lay it out up there, and it did not work. It did at first, and I think it would work better if I had done this in the heat of winter. Because the static is so fierce in the winter. I think it would have kept the squares on. But my problem was every time I went to go put another square, I would lose a square from above or beside it. And I'm thinking, there has to be a better way. Well, Tina had sent me a link to a YouTuber that showed how she was doing, hold on, I'm going to try to find that. Give me 2 shakes. It's been a minute since she sent it, so I don't know that I'm going to be able to find it. And the more I scroll, the worse this stuff gets. I can't. I don't see it right off. But she sent me a link to this quilter that did a fantastic quilt wall. And I love the idea. I just don't have the funds for that right now. I mean, y'all know with the crown sale going on that all of my funds are going to that right now. So I thought, well, should I lay it on a sheet? And I was going to say lay it in my living room floor, but I have the kittens and they're just, they're half the reason I'm tired. So I thought maybe I could lay a sheet on my bed and lay the quilt blocks out and take a picture of them and then sew them together like that. Well, y'all know that my husband sleeps really super late. So I'm going to have to wait till he gets up at some point in the mornings. Let's see. This is 3 single crochets and then 3 single togethers and then 4 singles with a slip stitch. Okay. So, sorry. Yeah, I have to read these things sometimes. It's just like, wait, where do I start on that one? Alright. It's right after the double crochet from that one. No, actually, it's that one. It's after that half double. Okay. So, I'm sitting there thinking, okay, I can do this, right? My husband, like I said, my husband doesn't wake up till late. So I was hoping that I would get that done or started today. No. That didn't happen because aforementioned kittens. I was going to sleep in today. Yeah, no, I've been very, very tired. My family even saw that at the table last night, at the dinner table. They're like, you could barely keep your eyes open. We see that you're tired. And I thought, okay, well, I'll sleep in. I have a baby gate in front of my bedroom door. Now, the latch on my bedroom door doesn't quite work as well as it should. I do need to buy a new doorknob because the striker doesn't go through the striker plate to actually latch the door shut. So that's why we have the baby gate. And the kittens plowed right on through. Oh, hold on, let me make sure I only did 4 of these. 1, 2, 3, 4. Yep. They jumped on top of the baby gate, pushed the door open with their little stubborn little heads. I love my kittens. Y'all know this. Y'all know that they've been a blessing. But they come bombarding in the room like, come on, Mom, you're late. Wake up. You got to play with us. At 6 o'clock this morning. Yeah. And I was looking so forward to sleeping in that it wasn't even funny. I think I messed up anyway. I did. I did. That's okay. I only have that much to rip out. No biggie. I was right. I just forgot one of the clusters. Oops. But so I was trying to let my husband sleep. So I got up, got the kittens out of the bedroom. I was like, well, you know, once I'm out of that bed, I'm up. There's no going back to sleep for me. I might squeeze out a nap sometime later in the day, but most of the time, nope. Once that's over, I'm up. There's no going back. So, it's like, well, got dressed, went on my daily walk, come home, did my exercise, and it was probably about 9:30-ish, and I was like, oh, I'm getting so tired. Maybe I'll take a nap. Yeah, I did take a nap. I laid there. I had the heating pad on my back because, you know, even though I've been doing my exercises, my back is not 100% yet. And I don't expect it to be, but, you know. So, I closed my eyes. I put my little crocheted Battenberg blanket over me. And I got comfortable, and I'm just like snuggled up in my recliner. And then my brain starts going. I know I have people out there that knows what I'm talking about. I was like, well, you know, since we're not working on the backhoe today, I can finish Meredith's tote. And then after I do that, I could get my taxes squared away. And then I really do need to go ahead and get the garden beds in my greenhouse ready so that we can plant those. All of this went through my mind in probably the span of 3 minutes. Not even 3 minutes. And I thought to myself, why did I mess myself up like this? Because, guess what? Lynn did not go back to sleep. I mean, I never got to sleep. So I am still tired. Tomorrow, I am hoping that I can get some... No, I'm not. I'm still not going to be able to sleep in. Because I did not replace that doorknob. And I know those kittens are going to wake me up. It's my fault, y'all. I have them trained. They're so used to me getting up around 6 o'clock. No later than 6:05, 6:10. So, no wonder they're like, oh, Mom, you should be playing with us. Okay, I'm coming. But anyway. I'm sorry. I feel like I've done nothing but complain on this video. And for those of you who've got this far to the end, know that I appreciate you. I mean, y'all are the only reason why I'm continuing to do these. And actually, that's kind of a lie. I'm kind of the reason. We're both the reason, you and I, because this is fun for me. This is like a hanging out with a craft buddy. And Kirsten, I'm going to be calling you soon. Trust me. Because, you know, I realized the other day when I did, I forced myself to take the time and meet up with Hannah since she was up from Florida. I felt like that was a very time-sensitive thing, and I knew I needed to be out here, but I also know that I needed some me time. So I think I'm gonna need some of that too. Pretty soon, because my sons have decided that the backhoe does need to be rented again. And rather than pay a second delivery fee, we're just going to continue the rental. I say we, but I mean they. But anyway, so we are going to be in month 2 of that. And I think I moved my head too fast. So I'm going to make sure, since I cannot function on the backhoe, and I think I'm going to try one more time. I think I'm going to try one more time because I felt so bad. My son was saying to my daughter-in-law, you know, well, Mom can't help. She's tried and she can't do it. And I don't blame her for that. And I'm like, he doesn't know this, but I blame myself. I mean, I know physically I can't change what happened to me, but I do feel like maybe if I pushed a little harder and didn't give up that first day, maybe I could do it again. So I have to take my husband to his doctor's appointment Tuesday, and when I do that, the part should come in, and when my son gets off of work that day, he'll come here and he'll fix the backhoe, and maybe by Wednesday you and I won't know this on the next video. I will know it by the time you're watching Wednesday's video, but I won't know it by Tuesday when I need to record the Wednesday's video. But I'm going to give it a shot. Y'all wish me luck. Keep me in your thoughts, prayers, and light a candle for me, because it's going to take all the patience of a Job. Because I don't know that I can do it. But I do want to try again. Because during the week, I'm focused mainly on watching out for my grandson while my daughter-in-law runs the backhoe. I'd love to give her a break. Yes, she would still have to be out there with the baby or the grandson, my grandson, but I could be running the backhoe and giving her a break. Does that make sense? Because mainly when I do the tractor is when it's me and my son out in the field, or me and my daughter-in-law, and you know, it's on the weekends. So yeah, wish me luck on that. And I'm gonna call it a night. I don't even think I'm gonna be able to work on this much more tonight. But anyway, if y'all saw any of this stuff on the totes, keep your eyes open. I will show you as they're made, and I'll tell you when they're up on my website. I did get somebody asking me about the Spring Fling mini bags, but I never got an email from you. So if you did send an email, you might want to resend it, because I didn't get it. And I'm refreshing my inbox now, and I still don't see it. So if you did try to send it, it's daybreakknotsandknits@gmail.com. If anybody wants any of the Spring Fling bags that I showed y'all on Friday. So I hope you have a great Monday. I hope you had a superb weekend. And I hope you've had some rest. It's not even 8 o'clock, and I think I'm going to finish up here, upload it to Google Drive, let my son edit it. I'll go ahead and have the thing ready so that when I get up at 6 o'clock, I can go ahead and... So this one might not be a early release for my members, and if that's the case, I am sorry. It just depends if I can stay awake long enough for my son to let me know that this is uploaded and I can put the description up. But regardless, I hope today has treated you well. I hope you have found some little spark of joy. And believe it or not, even though I am feeling nauseous and I'm exhausted, cutting the fabric for these totes, that has definitely got me some joy going. So find yours. Don't let go of it. And I will see you in the next video. Talk to you then. Bye.